Do it.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the beautiful Mr. B Clothing here in beautiful Clive, Iowa.
It's wonderful, Clive. It's been a while, Chris.
It's good to see you. I like that jacket, Tim.
I hardly recognized you when you came in the door.
Well, have I gained weight?
But no, you look great. You got your hair back.
I do have my hair back.
Yeah, and maybe that's it.
Last time I was in here, I think I was right off the shave.
You know, I saw you on Facebook out in Colorado having fun with your family, and I thought, well, maybe we aren't going to predict this.
We're predicting. You think you think we got a season coming up and we're not going to predict?
No, we're all ready. We're all ready here at Mr. B, and we're already here with fall goods coming in the door, Chris.
I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Well, do it, please. And we're getting fall goods as we speak. We have some beautiful sport coats. I'm trying to sell Chris a beautiful. Look at this.
That caught my eye when I walked
Here's
in.
this high blue that I'm wearing, and we're selling a lot of it to you young Cyclone fans out there. You come
Are
in
the
and say,
stripes like a big deal?
That's a window pane, Chris.
Okay. What's
See,
that mean?
He should stick to broadcasting sports, and I should sell clothes. This is a window pane. And I don't know anything about sports. He helps me with that. So we help each other here. But it's awful fun to have you back and to predict what's going to happen this year on the Cyclone season.
But I'm seeing a lot of the window panes because there's on that mannequin right there.
There's a rust color window pane. What's nice about those jackets, getting back to my business, is that they can be worn with jeans and casual.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys.
That's what I like to do.
You know, a jacket is kind of the essence of getting dressed, whether it's dressy or casual. You need a jacket. And a jacket can be worn with or without a tie. It can be worn with jeans. It can be worn with, if you want to throw it on and it's cool and you got your shorts on, you can throw that jacket on with a shirt and go out.
And it'd be okay?
Be okay. So a lot you can do with a jacket. But how's things? How was summer, Chris?
It's a great summer. I'm ready to get the football season going.
I think all the fans out there, I'm sure they're clamoring right now, waiting for the season. Should be an exciting one with a new coach.
Let's start our SITZMANN'S Picks. We've been doing this for a long time now, and the Cyclones.
How many years? I bet it's about 6 years.
It's 5 or 6 years that we've been doing SITZMANN'S Picks.
I've been doing pretty well.
You've had a pretty good track record.
This is a new year. You know, we've been under Coach Rhodes for a long time. A friend of mine, I knew him a long time, and I wish him well. But Matt Campbell comes in here with a lot of energy.
I love Matt Campbell too.
A lot of youth and a lot of excitement for all the fanatics out there. And let's hope for the best. I know the energy's boiling.
Yeah, it sure is. They're recruiting very well. Like, everything seems to be going very well up there. And now it's time to actually play some football games.
Right.
And it starts on September 3rd. I like it's a 7 o'clock kick, Cyclones TV. I like Iowa State over the 5th ranked in the FCS, Northern Iowa Panthers. It's usually really bad years when Iowa State loses to Northern Iowa. Now, Northern Iowa has proven, Tim, that they're capable of beating Iowa State.
Right.
But again, those are usually really down years for the Cyclones. Yeah. And I don't think Iowa State's a Big 12 contender by any means, but I don't think it's a really down year either.
Right.
They've got elusive playmakers at wide receiver and running back. They've got a pretty good, I think, defensive line by Iowa State standards. Give me the Cyclones in this one. A couple touchdowns, but Northern Iowa always plays the Cyclones very close.
Well, to me, the little that I know about it, and I depend on you, I look at their skill positions at Iowa State. They're coming back with really highly touted running back, maybe a little bit of a inexperienced quarterback. He played 5 games last year, but certainly a great athlete, as we know, and I've watched him at Ankeny play, and I know their family, and he's a terrific young man. But I really think that this is a season that's going to be hard for me to predict. I'm certainly welcome Matt Campbell into our area, and wish him nothing but the best. And we need good football throughout the state. I know some of you fanatics will say, "Why do you root for all the state football?" But I do. I really like to see good football in Iowa and good sportsmanship. And we go to the games, and you have to have an opponent, or otherwise it's not a game. So we have to learn to support our teams the best we can. And we're going to support the Fanatic. The Fanatics should support the Cyclones all the time, and I will all the way through. So.
Okay, well, game number 2, I'm assuming, so you're going to pick Iowa State
I'm going to pick Iowa State. I think it's a bit closer than you think. I
don't think it's a blowout by
I think
any
it's a 6-point game.
6 points, okay.
6 to 7. I might be a touchdown.
I'll say 10 to 14 in that range.
Okay.
So we're pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah, I predict that. Yes.
Game 2, we've already seen a preliminary point spread. Iowa State's going to be a 2-touchdown to 17-point underdog to the University of Iowa in Kinnick Stadium on September 10th. This is a lot like when you discuss Northern Iowa's history with Iowa State over the last few years. Iowa State, even in years where they're not very good, they play Iowa well. Like,
Oh.
it's always a good game.
Right.
So I'm going to pick Iowa to win the game because that's what Vegas clearly is telling me
Right.
to do right now.
Right.
But I also know if I had to put money on it, I would put Iowa State to cover that spread, specifically, Tim, with the new style of play Iowa State's going to be playing. I mean, they're going to try and milk as much clock as possible. They're going to be playing a lot more like Iowa has.
Yeah,
in years
I think
past.
you're going to see a lot more running game than
Yeah.
and short passes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think they're going to shorten the clock, fewer possessions.
Right.
Give me the Hawks by a touchdown,
Yeah.
7 to 10 points, but I think it's a really good football game.
You know, I hate to sit here and agree with you, but I think it's Iowa's game to lose. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
their game.
They did go 12-0 last year. I mean,
Right. And they have a lot of skilled
Yeah.
players back, and their defense is what I think is going to shine. They're pretty strong on the line. They're pretty strong. That linebacker core is all back.
their offensive line's going to be
That
elite this
offense,
year.
they're one of the elite teams in the nation in the offensive
Yeah.
line, and they have depth.
And I love their quarterback. I love C.J. Beathard.
He is an athlete, as Mr. Lanning is up at Iowa.
It's a fun match. You just let those two arm wrestle. That'd be fun.
It'd be something else, but it should be a really fun game. And what we found out through the history is that the home field advantage really doesn't have an advantage.
Correct. Not in this game.
It just doesn't seem like you got to throw it out the window.
Brent Bloom gave me a stat the other night that Iowa has not beaten Iowa State in Kinnick Stadium since like 2010.
I know,
something like that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and we've seen the Hawkeyes go up to Ames like we did last year and win, and you just don't know in this game. So I think I'm with you. I think it's a very, very close game. If it isn't a close game, it's because one of the two, and I'll say one of the two teams has a horrible turnover rate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that happens on occasion.
That's a safe pick right there.
Right.
Different schedule this year for Iowa State is Game 3 is on the road at TCU.
Ooh,
The Horned
tough.
Frogs on September 17th. We have not seen a point spread of this. It's an 11 o'clock kick. Give me TCU. I think TCU, I'm pretty high on Kenny Hill, their new quarterback who's replacing Trayvon Boykin. I mean, I'm not going to go on the record to say I think that they beat Oklahoma in the Big 12 because I think the Sooners are cut
Pretty
and dry
tough. Pretty tough.
the top team in the league. But I think TCU has an elite defense. Tim, I think Gary Patterson is a top 5 coach in the country. This is a tough game, I think, for Iowa State to win. I will comfortably pick TCU.
You know, I'll go along with that. I think we're predicting right along. I think it's going to be a tough game on the road, and the first really tough, other than the Iowa game.
Yeah.
But that isn't really a road game. It's in the state.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
guys
new-
are kind of familiar with it.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
neutral. But the first really road game, and historically we haven't traveled very well as a football team. And,
Correct.
And
They
going
just haven't played very well in
No,
general the
no.
last few years.
So and I'll go out and I'm going to go out on a little limb before we do the rest of the season. But if we come through as a Cyclone team with a 2-1 record after these 3 games, that they have a shot at a bowl game.
There you go.
If they can come out with a 2-1, I'm not predicting that.
Yeah, no, I know.
But if an upset happens in those first 3
That's
games,
a good point, yeah.
we're going to see a bowl team.
Okay. Well, we've got them at 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think the Iowa game's probably more winnable than TCU.
I agree.
But
And you know what? We just pray that they get that. We're predicting, and I think they will beat you and I. But
Better beat you and I.
There's a game where you and I wants to win it in the worst way.
very much so.
And so that's what Iowa's going to have to struggle with is they could be in a bad position after a couple of games because they've got a tough North Dakota State team coming to Kinnick right after I think that they play Iowa State.
You're right.
So and not worrying about Iowa, but if you look at those schedules, it's tough for them.
That's a weird placement for that game too.
Really weird, a tough one.
That I don't know what, like, for Iowa's sake, if it would be better to play them first or third. I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But that happened to Iowa State last year.
2 years ago. I'll never forget that game.
So this is what we're up against as we start a new season. A little bit more of a known at Iowa as you look at last year, coming off a great season. But at Iowa State, a brand new era, a brand new time, and as what happened with Paul Rhodes when he came into Iowa State after Dan McCarney left, we saw a real insurgence of excitement, and we're going to see a little of that there. Then that might drive them to that one more win that they need to get 6-6 and get to a bowl game.
Let's hope so. We're going to predict the second quarter of Iowa State's season coming up next week. Till then, I encourage you to get on down here to gorgeous Clive, Iowa. It's on 86th Street. It's Mr. B Clothing. They've got if you haven't been in a while, the new setup is
That's what I was
absolutely
going to say.
gorgeous.
We've remodeled. I don't know if they've been in. It's been a year ago now, Chris. First
Yep.
of September, but we're all remodeled, fresh. But we still have the same characters. We have Mac, John, Mike. We have Andy. We have Ryan. I'm Tim. We got a crew to help you out, and we're here to help you and service you. So come on in and see us at Mr. B's. Beautiful Clive, Iowa, 1995. Stop in and say hi.
We'll get you a cyclone-colored sports jacket for the season.
Yeah, it won't be blue.
No, it will not. We'll be back next week with more predictions. Thanks for watching, everybody.